What's going on, everyone? So we're all kind of waiting around, anxious to see what is going to happen with Bradley Beal as far as the destination that he chooses. So based on the reports that have came out, Bradley Beal is expected to be bought out. That is the plan with the Phoenix Suns, that he is going to end up having a new team. And Bradley Beal is just kind of weighing his options and which team he wants to go to. That there are several teams kind of linked that supposedly Bradley Beal is interested in. And kind of the four top teams are the Warriors, the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Bucks. No particular order. Right now, if I'm being honest, after the Clippers made their move, Bradley Beal and the Clippers makes a lot of sense, and Bradley Beal and the Milwaukee Bucks after waving and stretching Damian Lillard actually makes the most sense if he wants to kind of be a starter and play heavy minutes, right? Because the problem with Bradley Beal and the Lakers, and look, if the Lakers can get Bradley Beal, you absolutely go get Bradley Beal, right? Because he's a guy that can come in. Yes, there is kind of this question and redundancy with Austin Reeves and Bradley Beal. Like, how much, are you going to be able to play Luka, Beal, and Austin Reeves all at the same time? But Bradley Beal is so good that you figure it out. And it's one thing when a guy's making $60 million on a no trade clause. It's another thing when a guy is making $5 million, with the traded or the biannual exception, right? Like, that's very different things. It's very different when you're trading for a guy as opposed to signing him for free, kind of working that out. So we'll see. There's also this kind of growing buzz that the Lakers are kind of waiting around to see what is going to happen with Bradley Beal. Not just the Lakers, but just like the NBA period, right? That a lot of these teams that are expected to make heavy moves are all kind of waiting to see what happens with Bradley Beal. Where does Bradley Beal go? Because that could be kind of this domino effect that ends up happening, right? Like, if Bradley Beal goes to the Lakers, then that could take the Lakers out of play for guys like DeAnthony Melton and all these other guys, right? Malcolm Brogdon that they're interested in. These several players that they have interest in might now not be on the board, right? So they might have to go elsewhere. So a team like the Warriors might be like, okay, we missed out on a Bradley Beal, let's go get a DeAnthony Melton. Or again, same thing with a Clippers. If they land Bradley Beal, then okay, perfect, we're good. Well, then the Lakers and everyone else might try to pivot and try to go get somebody else. But if they miss out on a Bradley Beal, it's like, okay, well, do we go get a Chris Paul? Do we go get a DeAnthony Melton? Do we go get, player X, Y, and Z? So kind of seems like everything is being held up and kind of based on Bradley Beal, and whenever he finally makes his decision and decides what he wants to do, which could be, while you're watching this video, we could end up getting that news. The original reports were about 24 to 48 hours is when we'd find the decision. Now, do know, again, that he is going to be bought out, so maybe that is the decision. It's just him kind of figuring out where does he want to go and how does he want to go about it. He'd still have to wait, 48 hours to clear waivers and stuff, but we could get one of those reports where it's like Bradley Beal is bought out by the Phoenix Suns and expected to sign with team X, Y, and Z, right? Now, I don't have a problem with the Lakers waiting for Bradley Beal because depending on what happens, right, will kind of dictate what the Lakers do. Because if the Lakers land Bradley Beal, then you might not want to make certain changes or certain trades or certain signings, or those might end up changing, right? Like, I'm not saying that they would do this, but if you get Bradley Beal, Austin Reeves becomes a little more expendable. So do the Lakers now start fielding calls for Austin Reeves? I'm not saying that they will, but it does, right? Kind of like, hey, there is this redundancy. Do we really want to pay Austin Reeves $50+ million, or do we want to look to see if we can turn him into, a Herb Jones or something like that maybe makes more sense at the starting three, right? And maybe get some assets and some other things involved to kind of, stack the deck for the future, especially with the Lakers wanting to keep and preserve salary space for 2027. The biggest kind of elephant in that plan is Austin Reeves, because Austin Reeves is not going to sign a 2-year deal. He's going to sign that long-term, 5 years, because he's going to want that, because he can get that with the Lakers. He's going to want to sign that 5-year, whatever it is, $250 million or something like that, right? Like, he's not going to want to go and sign with the Lakers for 2 years on, and even then, what are you going to sign him for $50 million for 2 years? 2 years, $100 million? It's a lot for Austin Reeves. So I don't think there's questions about that. So if they land a guy in Bradley Beal, does that kind of change the Lakers' approach with an Austin Reeves, right? That could change the Lakers' approach with many things, because they might be like, hey, we have a guy on the bench now that can go get us 20 a night, kind of solve some of our bench scoring. let's go and kind of round out, get that clear upgrade at the starting unit. Maybe, again, if you go get a guy like Bradley Beal, maybe that kind of incentivizes the Lakers even more to kind of push their chips in more to, hey, you know what? Fine, let's pony up, give up Dalton Connect, and let's get Andrew Wiggins. Right, let's go for this. Right, we got Bradley Beal off the bench, starting whatever we got to do. We'll figure it out. We got, now you got, Luka, Bradley Beal, Andrew Wiggins, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton with Austin Reeves, Bronny James, Dude Thero, right, and then Jake LaRavia, Jackson Hayes. And then maybe you go and make some other moves. Okay, let's go get, a better backup center. Like, that might incentivize the Lakers to now kind of push their chips in a little more than if they don't, right? And then also, I don't think any of these other guys are going anywhere, right? Like, plus, Bradley Beal at the price in which you could get him, I think is worth the wait. Lakers have this habit of waiting for the star. Yeah, you saw it with like Kawhi Leonard, right? Like they're waiting around. And luckily they were able to kind of piece together enough to win a championship. But they missed out on a lot of guys that wanted to go to the Lakers, that were reportedly wanted to go to the Lakers, but they were waiting for Kawhi. Lakers, Dwight Howard situation. Like there's a lot of things where we've seen over the years, the Lakers kind of waiting to see what the big name, the big sexy name and the bright lights, what does that player do? But at this point, I do think that they're like these, the Anthony Melton, the Malcolm Brogdons, like these guys, I don't think are going to go anywhere in this time period. Right? I think because the other teams that want those guys too are all waiting for Bradley Beal. Right? Like if none of those teams were interested in Bradley Beal, they'd probably already be pushing for that. Right? Like if I'm the Warriors and I'm not interested in Bradley Beal, man, then I'm going to the Anthony Melton. I'm going to Malcolm Brogdon. Like, dude, like what if the Lakers sign them? Just let you know, we might fill this before, like take one in the hands or two in the bush. Do you really want to wait around to see if Lakers may or may not get a guy? And then now you're kind of scrambling to find out where you want to go. Like, do you want to come to us or not? Right? But again, all those same teams are going to want to wait for Bradley Beal because he would be the best name on the market. And if the reports are true that he is going to the market, why wouldn't you wait? So I'm not worried about the Lakers being patient, kind of letting things unfold and develop. Right? See who becomes available. If Bradley Beal does become available, I mean, even some of these other buyout, candidates and stuff like that, right? Like Lakers may be in a position to where, all of a sudden it's like, okay, you got Bradley Beal, you got DeAndre Ayton, you got Jake LaRavia, you got Jackson Hayes. Let's go pull off a trade for this. Like it may cause the Lakers to now want to be a little bit more aggressive. Where if you don't get Bradley Beal, you might want to be a little more reserved, right? It's like, okay, let's go get a DeAnthony Melton. Let's go bring in, maybe a Malcolm Brogdon also. You get those two guys. And then let's go and be patient on the trade front and see if a Andrew Wiggins, that price comes down as we inch closer to, training camp, right? I imagine the Lakers will probably be patient regardless. But with this new CBA, you're seeing more and more players being bought out, more and more players kind of coming to market. Like that, I think is going to be a new pool that you didn't really have in the past. Like players get bought out all the time, but it's usually like the players that are kind of at the end of the ropes or, you get that right after the trade deadline, right? You get the buyout market and stuff. It's kind of that period. I think now you're going to have that moment in the offseason where you're going to have these guys where, we'll be talking about free agency. We'll be talking about trades. And then we'll also be talking about the buyout market, right? Because it's going to be this influx. Because with the new CBA, there's going to be so many teams that are going to want to get off of guys, right? Like, hey, we can't, like, hey, we're going to be bad next year anyway. Let's just get off of this guy, save us, $10 million plus another, 20 million in luxury tax and all this stuff. And let's just do what we got to do, bite the bullet tonight just to, have a better day tomorrow type thing, right? Like that's what I think you're going to see teams doing. Look, I want Bradley Beal. The Lakers can land Bradley Beal. Supposedly, Bradley Beal's preferred trade destination was the Lakers. I would imagine if your preferred trade destination is the Lakers, then your preferred signing destination would be the Lakers. Although, we learned that with Paul George, right? Paul George, although that was a bit of a different situation because OKC actually traded for Paul George. Paul George kind of was like, felt like this loyalty to them. Where Bradley Beal, like no one traded for Bradley Beal and then waived him, right? Like it just didn't work out in Phoenix the last few years. And now he's being waived, and then so it's little different situation. But we have seen like, hey, you didn't trade for me, so clearly you don't want me that bad, right? And I'll go to another team, which if it goes to the Clippers, I'm gonna be a little one, because that'd be tough. I mean, seriously, I mean, think about it. You'd have James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, Ivaka Zubac, right? Supposedly they still want to sign Chris Paul. You got Chris Dunn, right? You got Nicholas Batum, Derrick Jones Jr., and then Brook Lopez. I mean, they are like legit deep. Like they might be one of the best deep teams in all of basketball if that ends up happening. Definitely some questions about, just fit and stuff like that with like James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Bradley Beal, but they all play different positions. They all play different roles. They all do different things. Could be tough. So hopefully he signs with the Lakers. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.